Hey friends, it's Ruben with Hi-Fi MIDI. Thanks for joining me for this demo and review of Vienna Symphonic Library's Synchron Elite Strings. I'm very excited about sharing this video with you because this truly is an amazing library, and I'm not exaggerating. By the way, just so that you know, I don't review libraries that I don't like, and the reason I don't do that is because I feel embarrassed about criticizing a company. I've only done that once and it did not feel good. And I decided after that, I'm not going to be surprised by it. I want to know that I like it before I review it. So let me tell you why I like this. This library is very nuanced, and that's why it's called Elite Strings. It's a chamber string section, which means there are fewer players, which means it's more detailed and it's more versatile. But this is a large library. I'm reviewing the standard library, which has 4 mic positions and is 60 gigabytes. Now, the download size is very small and it took about 10 minutes, but uncompressed is 60 gigabytes. The full library is over 100 gigabytes and it has 9 mic positions. The other thing I'm excited about is the fact that they're letting me give away 1 free copy of this. So, a week from the premiere of this video, I will have a giveaway, which I'll include other libraries as well. But let's get started with this review. So it uses a Synchron Player. I'm not extremely familiar with the Synchron Player because I've only had it for about 2 weeks, roughly. But it's pretty easy to use. Once you have the library loaded, go to the patch list and you can click on all the menus right here, Synchron Elite Strings, and you'll see that it has 6 first violins, 5 second violins, 4 violas, 4 cellos, and 3 double basses. If you click on those, then you get all the articulation types, which you have your standard ones here. And if you click on those, then you have all your little variations or different types of those types of articulations. So there's a lot of them available, and I love it. But not only do you have these articulations, but they behave differently, and because some of them have multiple layers, and some of those articulations they work in a way where they behave differently in different contexts, like depending on how fast you play or whatever. So let me show you. So let's say I want a staccato. I can start building my setup right here on how I want to access that, how I want it to sound, like the mic setup. Do I want more room? Do I want close mics? How do I want to control the dynamics? I can start adding that stuff here. As you can see, if you're creating a work or score for an ensemble, this is going to take a long time to do. So I don't want to go through all this setup for you. So I'm going to go to the preset menu, and right here we have preset configurations based on every single section, as well as the entire ensemble put together. So on the tutti, I'm going to click this, and it's going to open up the dimension tree. Now this is a preset configuration that is going to be useful for most people, including myself. I don't like wasting time, or I don't like spending time trying to customize it because I have a lot of libraries. But this, I love it because it gives you a menu of all of your articulations. This is like Dimension Tree is like a key switch on steroids because you have a key switch for another key switch for another key switch. It sounds complicated, but it really isn't. And I'll explain why. So right here we have our articulation types. So I want a short note, and then we have staccato, short, staccato, spiccato, and detache. I'm gonna pick staccato. Now, when I clicked on it, it didn't do anything. But as soon as I press a key, then it loads them. Now I have 20 megabytes loaded. Already that sounds amazing. But if you're using this in a very detailed work, this attack or this length of note might not be exactly what you're looking for. And the great thing about this library is that it has variations, or it has different types of playing for that staccato. For example, they have the Agile version, which according to them sounds a bit more quantized in its attack, but they said the difference is going to be when you have repeated notes. I'm going to switch to bold really quick. Already I could feel in my playing, it takes up a little bit more time. I can't explain it, but that attack feels, it eases just a tiny bit. And then you have staccato short. And then Agile. Awesome. Absolutely amazing. Spiccato, I think spiccato are shorter. I think it's you're bouncing the bow on the string. There's probably a string player shaking right now. I probably got it wrong, but spiccato is quieter. The great thing about this library is it seems pretty smart to me. So I had it on staccato right now, and I had it on agile. When I switched to spiccato, it stayed on agile, the agile version of spiccato. Like it knew where I was going. It didn't just automatically default to bold, and I love that about this setup. And this is my favorite articulation, Detache. Detache, I think you have this, it kind of fades away after you play it. I'm not a string player, so I don't know exactly how to describe it, but I know how it sounds. So Detache, I'm going to show you the normal attack. All right, let's do the soft attack. This, when I started playing this, my heart just started melting, and I'm like, this is what I've been looking for. I am so disappointed with many string libraries because they don't have this level of expression or musicality. It's sort of like, let's just do a long note and that's it. But I want the variations, I want the expression, the dynamics, all of that stuff. Let's explore some of the other sounds. Now here you have your vibrato, release, and attack types. Let's hear the regular vibrato. Now, I felt like that for that style that I was playing in, it needed a softer release. So let's hear that. Listen to how smooth that dynamic changes. This is what I love about this. In their older libraries, you could hear that transition between those dynamics, and I never liked that, but this is so smooth. So soft release, soft attack, that is great for these ambient swells. Multi vibrato, that means a lot of vibrato. So this is going to be like on the emotional passages, very expressive. Then you have sense of vibrato, that means without vibrato, so it's going to be a very smooth sound. Very mournful. Then you have vibrato crossfade, so you can actually blend between the two. Right now it's set to controller 20. So let me play that. This one's going between regular vibrato and lots of vibrato. And the Senza is going between without vibrato to regular or without vibrato to a lot. So let's go between those. And then espressivo is going to give you a variation in the dynamics while you're holding a note. Then you have performance legato, so up to an octave of legato. This is a lot easier to hear with the individual sections, so I'm going to click on that. So if you wanted a fast attack on this is how it sounds. Here's one I didn't talk about, marcato or sforzando. That's going to give a lot of weight to the initial attack, and then it's going to back off. I don't know if you heard, but there was a little note stealing right there because it's in mono mode. I'm going to put it in poly mode, so now it's poly legato. I don't usually like playing legato with poly legato mode because sometimes it sounds like the notes slide up to some other ones in a weird way. Then they have the agile version of these. Agile versions, they're gonna sound better with fast passages. Normally they behave the same way, but if you're doing really fast passages or repeated notes, then you can really hear the difference. Let's see. Agile, fast attack, normal release. Let's hear the portamento. Portamento is when you slide to the note. This sounds a lot longer than legato. Now, portamento is used sparingly, usually on very expressive, emotional parts of the music, but you're not going to use it all the time because it doesn't sound really good unless you're doing something like a Dexter sound. Those of you who are familiar with it will know what I mean. I think that's how it goes. And then dynamics. This is pretty cool. I use this on the demo. So here's sforzando or sforzato. Then you have your little swells. Crescendos. Now, each of these crescendos last a certain amount of seconds, but I believe you can customize it depending on your tempo. Using the release technology. So here's a release right here. You can set it so that it's shorter. That way it fits your music. Crescendo long is 4 seconds long. Then they have diminuendo, which gets quieter. And then long. Then tremolo. Not only do they have tremolo, but they also have tremolo legato. Trills. What's that from? But you also have whole tone trills, minor thirds, and major thirds. Pizzicato sounds very cool. It's always fun to hear that. Then you also have snap pizzicato. I think this is only one layer. Yeah, one velocity. I think that's when you pull the string. Then colegno, you use the wooden part of the bow. This is 3 velocities. And battuto. Battuto is when you hit the strings with the hair ribbon. This only has one dynamic, I believe. Harmonics. Gorgeous. They even have it with the tremolo. And then there is performance Detache. So as you can see, there are many ways to fill in the gaps of the articulations that you have. So if something speeds up in your music and you need a very tight, clean phrase, there's a way to do that by just knowing what type of articulation you have. If you need a fast attack, look for something with a fast attack. If you need something that kind of has a soft or long release, eases out, there is something for that. And I think that's what they had in mind with this. But it's so easy to do. When I created my piece, I played out the parts and then I fixed all the notes, the timing and everything. But then what was left to do after that was just to set the key switches so that it switches to the proper articulation. There are also mixer presets on this that come with this. You can create your own, but if you want different types of sound images, they're in here. And let me open up Staccato really quick. So here is the close room mix. And here's the ambience. There's There's a lush room. There's close decatry. Here's a wide decatry. There's so much to this library. It is truly a dream come true for me. And I'm not saying that because I'm reviewing it, but because this is going to make a lot of the type of music that I make easier, because I like doing a lot of ambient kind of stuff. I like doing emotional music. It's just my personality, you know. But for those of you who might be doing something more energetic, this has the tools for that. This makes it possible. And now I can give one away, and that feels good to me. So what you have to do in order to enter this drawing is to go to hifimedi.com and just sign up for the free account. If you've paid for a course, your name's already in there as well. Well, friends, thanks for watching this video. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up, subscribe, and hit that notification bell if you haven't. And leave a comment below. Tell me what you thought about this product. And I'll see you next time.